Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joa Meijer. I'm the moderator for this session, working at Fluidtech. I hope that the LRVS is going well for you. We start the afternoon session here, and we start immediately with a very interesting presentation. This time, who's made by Mrs. Vanda Franco. Vanda is I've been working with her to the company Ocean team Petrotec, and Vanda is a technical support specialist. And today she is going to present, I believe, a very interesting subject. The title of her presentation is Qatar, the pioneer of GCC countries applying Solvancer technology onshore and offshore industry. So let's all listen very carefully what Vanda has to say. Vanda, I will share now your screen. So that we can see you. I will take myself out of the screen. So by this, you're ready to.
Thank you, Josh, for the introduction of myself. Thank you for all of you that are joining us today in our LRVS. And thank you, of course, to LRVS for the invitation to be a speaker this year. As Josh was mentioning to you, I'm bringing the topic of Qatar, being the pioneer within GCC countries applying Decon Solvancer technology onshore and offshore to solve the different issues related with the varnish. Briefly, as an agenda for this session, I will introduce Petrotec and Ocean Team Qatar, a little bit about us. I will talk about the climatic challenges in Qatar. I will discuss also a little bit of varnish potential, how in Qatar we are supporting our customers monitoring, mitigating, and preventing future varnish formation. And in the end, I will show you some case studies where the Solvancer technology has been applied along with the electrophysical separation process for filtration. And if possible, if we have time, I will show you also the customer feedback of one of our customers. Starting with a little bit about us, Petrotec. Petrotec established in Qatar since 1989 and in Kuwait since 2018. Petrotec is a trading company and a services provider for the different kind of services that our different customers in Qatar need during the commissioning and maintenance of each plant, such as hydraulics, pumps, chemical cleaning, and so on. Specifically, Ocean Team Qatar. Ocean Team Qatar is the Purity Solutions Department of Petrotec, operating in Qatar since 2007, and we are around 24 employees. All Petrotec, for all departments and joint ventures, are certified under the different ISOs that you can see, 9001, 14001, 40001, and especially the business ethics. A little bit more about the Ocean Team Qatar, as I'm the technical support specialist, as Joe mentioned. We are the oil care services provider in Qatar, the leader of these services, and we are providing hot oil flushing, oil contamination control, and condition monitoring. We can also provide offshore the chemical cleaning and onshore and offshore pressure vessel cleaning, confined space. Qatar, the climatic challenge that we and all our customers are facing in this country and in this side of the world. Qatar, being a peninsula, is vulnerable to extremely stressful conditions, working conditions, such as high temperature and high humidity. These stressful conditions will also conduct to accelerate the oxidation and the thermal degradation of the lubricants, especially during the summer where the average of humidity is around 60%, then where the water and air temperatures are really high. During July and September, usually we have a black flag, as we call as a black flag, where most of the works needs to stop because of these climatic challenges, and only the critical jobs under specific authorization and conditions can be done. As we know, if on each plant we apply the lubrication activities and the correct lubrication activities, we can have a lubricant with a good health. With a good health, we mean as less, what is possible is less contamination and chemical degradation as well. And we want to avoid these two, especially at the same time. Under this condition, if the oil and the health of the oil is good, the equipment reliability will also be good. In the next slide, what we will show to you is due to when the oil is not healthy, some varnish can build up, as we discussed in different sections during this lubrication reliability virtual summit. And in the next slides, what we will show to you is how in Qatar we are supporting our customers to monitor, mitigate, and prevent the varnish. Monitor is the key of our customers. They want to achieve to have less contamination in the oil and to extend its life in the system. And we start with the oil sampling on site. The oil sampling can be done by our team or by customer, depends on the contract. After have the sample with us, we will send to a third-party laboratory in Qatar or outside Qatar, depends on the customer requirement, and an in-depth analysis at this laboratory, which needs to be certified and accredited, will be done. After have the 3 consecutive results, at least, to follow the trend of each parameter, and accordingly with the oil condition based on the sample reports, history of the machines, any issue reported by the customer, and of course, what is the planned maintenance activities from the customer, we analyze along with the customer what is the best solution to mitigate the varnish if is already there, and to prevent future formation if it's coming to build up. How we are mitigating the varnish or we are supporting to mitigate the varnish to our customers. Various technologies have been developed, such as electrostatic and filtration to remove the varnish. However, these are more related with the varnish that is in suspension. Yes, it's a good technology and will remove the varnish, or insoluble, in this case, insoluble varnish in short time, but it's not a long-term solution because it's removing only the in suspension varnish. I'm sorry. Then electrophysical separation process technology have been developed to increase the performance of these filters, in this case resins, a media blend element that can remove the varnish, insoluble and soluble, because as per the different studies, a large amount of varnish in the operating system is in the solution, not in suspension. As I was mentioning, in Qatar, we use the electrophysical separation process, the media blend element that can be customized as per oil condition and as per oil type and grade. In the left side, you can see a virgin media blend element, and in the right side, you can see a used media blend element after catch all the varnish from the oil and from the system. As the leading oil care services provider, and along with the different equipment OEM, we are providing the Solvancer technology in Qatar, representing our partner, and we are applying in different major oil operators. Specifically, when the customer wants to extend the life of the oil, we are applying decon along with the electrophysical separation process unit. Why decon? Because it's recommended by the OEMs, is compatible with the different oil types and grades, will not produce impact in the chemistry of in-service oil, can control the deposits as well. Most important, don't need to shut down the equipment, and leaves no residue when it degrades. Beginning, we are talking about Qatar being the pioneer of GCC countries applying decon Solvancer technology onshore and offshore related with the Varnish issues. As discussed, we are applying electrophysical separation process along with the addition of Solvancer technology. And slides, I will show you some case studies where decon Solvancer technology and electrophysical separation process technology has been applied to give a response to the different challenges that our customers are bringing to us, and to extend the life of their oils for critical machines. I will show you the case studies with the challenges, what were the solutions and respective results. As a first case study, I'm bringing from offshore related with a solar turbine, a gas turbine. And for this specific case, the customer came to us to request our support to avoid a third oil change in 2 years. Yes, it's true. The customer did a complete oil change, first oil upgrade and a second oil change in 2 years. We are talking about around 6,000 liters reservoir. And after an in-depth analysis of the oil, few months after performed this oil upgrade and the second oil change, the Varnish, the oil analysis was showing high MPC. The high MPC was stable, however critical, above 50. For this case, the customer was mentioning, reported to us as well that there were high bearing temperatures since the beginning, since the first oil upgrade and the second oil change. After discussed with the OEM, after discussed with the customer, the solution applied to this case study, this situation, was electrophysical separation process and decon Solvancer technology. With these two technologies, it was possible to reduce, as you can see in the graph, to reduce the MPC level for less than an half during the first week of this after application, and in 1 month it was possible to be within acceptable limits, less than 15. The MPC level and the bearing temperatures decreased during this period, and they continue stable for more than 10 months. MPC values within acceptable limits and bearing temperatures maintained below their warning limits, allowing this system to operate without any possibility of bearing failure. So more than 10 months, and it was possible to extend the life of the oil, avoiding a third oil change. As a second case study is also one application offshore and also one solar turbine, gas turbine. In this situation, as you can see, we have different results, and we have different parameters, not only MPC. We have also the particle count, the acid number, and the ruler for antioxidants level. Level 1, level 2, which means amine, level 1, and phenol, level 2. Here, the challenge, it was, again, to avoid an oil change. This was after an oil change. This situation occurred after a recent oil change, less than 1 year. The equipment and the reservoir was not prepared in the well conditions to receive the new charge of the new oil, and all contamination from previous oil came to the new oil. So the new oil, higher solubility, and brought to the oil in few months all the contamination from previous oil. What happened, as you can see here, during 6 months, it was analyzed on a 3-monthly frequency, and we can see that the MPC was stable but really high particle count, acid number, and antioxidant levels decreased really fast. After discussed with the customer, we also understood that the bearing temperatures was also one of their problems. Steady increase of bearing temperatures were happening during this period, during these 6 months. Once again, the solution was addition of Decon Solvancer technology to dissolve the varnish, prevent future formation, and control the deposits. Additional, the ESP unit was hooked up, as you can see, around 1 month later, after the Solvancer technology addition, ESP unit was hooked up to the system to remove the existing varnish. The varnish with the Decon will become soluble, will come from the system to the oil, and the ESP unit will help to clean the oil itself. Because if the oil is not clean as well, the varnish will be in the oil soluble, but will remain in the oil. And we want to have an oil and the system cleaned. As you can see, as a result, we have a clean oil and no failure related with the varnish potential during more than 8 months. After Solvancer technology, Decon addition, we saw a large reduction, 91% of reduction from previous, from the initial MPC level to 6.4. As you can see, also the particle count had a decrease, and the ruler 1 and 2, amine and phenol, were stable. So after 6 months, again, from July to October, 4 to 5 months, we can see that the acid number and the rulers are stable with a decrease of MPC and particle count. ESP unit, as I was mentioning, was supporting to clean the oil, keeping the MPC level within acceptable limits. Particle count was really good, and as you can see, acid number decreased a little bit, and which is good for the oil condition health. And also the ruler 1 and 2, amine and phenol, we can see they are stable. The last results are from April, and we know we are already on September, but we know the condition continues the same. Case study 3 is one application onshore in one chemical company in Qatar, and the challenge was to extend the life of in-service oil for 9 years. So the next shutdown was more than 12 months away, and after analyze the oil and to see that the bearing temperature was increasing, the customer came to us to request our support and to extend the life of the oil until the next shutdown. Once again, depth analysis was performed for different parameters, not only MPC. Here we are bringing the MPC level, and the solution was electrophysical separation process and Decon application. As you can see, the first time we hook up the ESP unit, and with the ESP unit, it was possible to reduce 45% of the initial value in 1 day. 1 day only, 24 hours, it was hooked up, and we saw these results. With the Solvancer, in this case, Decon addition, on the day 4, we saw 90% reduction compared with the initial value of MPC. After around 6 months, we can see that even after disconnect the ESP unit, we can see that the MPC is under control. The bearing temperatures are stable. And for these values, where MPC is below 5 for a long period, we can see that the 9 years in service fluid can be compared almost with a fresh oil. I think I still have time for just to show you the customer feedback. And this customer, we are working with them since 4 years in an oil care program with the respective solutions. to support them offshore to have their turbines and their oils with a good health. ESP and Solvancer technology have been applied as well. Different Solvancer technologies, not only Decon, have been applied in the offshore for this specific customer. And the first question from our side to our customer, it was, what are the general issues faced by your company on turbo machinery and critical rotating equipment related specifically with the varnish? And as per customer response, high temperature for the bearings and vibration alarms for 27 turbo machineries across the field in different platforms. So we are talking about 27 machines. Next question, of course, is what are the solutions that your company have been applied to solve the respective issues recommended by OEM and by the oil care services provider? There was a plan, as I was mentioning, during 4 years, a program, oil care program, and different solutions have been applied. As a stage 1, it was performed oil sampling for following the respective sampling frequency of 3 monthly. Each 3 months, the one sample was collected from each machine. One trend was built with the different data for the different parameters to follow the trend and understand the oil condition for the specific period. As a second stage, after analyze the sample reports, understand the health of the equipment, all the report that the customer is giving to us related with the symptoms of each machine, it was possible to give the best solution and recommendation for each machine, each oil condition. And it was depending also on the maintenance activities that the customer showed to us as a plan for this period of 4 years. Depends on for some cases, the customer requested to us to extend the life of the oil. For other situations, the customer requests to us, we will do the oil change, please support us to prepare the machine to receive the new oil and avoid similar situations as the previous one I was showing to you on case study 1 and case study 2. As a stage 3, after all these solutions and during this process, we continue with the oil analysis, following the trend, and understanding what is the oil condition and equipment condition. In 4 years, what are the achieved results? So as you can see here, as per the graph, in 4 years, from the 27 turbines here in 2021, last results from July, from the 27 turbines, 25 are within normal level, with acceptable level. Only one with the caution and one with the critical machine. Here, what you can see is this evaluation was performed based on the MPC level. However, all the other parameters are within acceptable level, which I mean as a particle, acid number, water content, the ruler for the antioxidant levels, RPVT, foam, hair release, and metals. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoy my session. Here are my contacts. If you want to know a little bit more about Petrotec and Ocean Team Qatar, you can go to our website, and I'm ready for the questions. No? Joe? Joe?
Hello.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I hope
so
it was Clear?
I
Yes.
I want to really congratulate you because this is from the last years I've seen really the best presentation I've ever seen. It's so really congratulations. It's
Thank you.
so clear, so practical, and impressive. I have no other words for that. We have a few. I can tell you, we have a lot of congratulations here. People saying that this is a very clear, professional presentation. I have a first question who's coming from Ludger Quick. He's from Siemens, and although they are already users of ESP, I think he's asking a question. As you can see the question, Vanda.
Yes, I can. Can I answer? Yes.
Absolutely.
Of course. So thank you for the question, Luger. Is a really good question, and I can say to you that our customers also are coming with this question, and depends on the situation. When to extend the life of oil, the best thing is to use both together. As I was mentioning during my presentation, the decon will support you to to mitigate the varnish in the case of dissolve the varnish that you have already in the oil. Will this oil will you can increase the solubility with the decon addition, yes, and this oil will go to the through the system and will bring layer by layer the varnish that is already sticked in the system. The varnish will remain. The varnish will remain in the oil, correct? So what we need to do is to clean the oil to assure that the oil is clean. Because if the varnish, even if soluble and with the all soluble and the deposits are controlled, with the time the varnish will come again in suspension, will stick again to the system because the decon is not forever solution, as we can say. So with the decon, ESP unit shall be hooked up to decon, take care of the oil and system, and the filtration will occur to clean the oil and prevent future formation as well. I hope this can, yes, Joe?
Yes, absolutely. And I think we have another question who is coming, which we can answer the percentage of Solvancer needed. That's between 3 and 5%, which producer is recommending. But that's mostly 3%. Then I have another question. I have here, I will hide this one. I have a question coming from a person. Okay, that's, I cannot pronounce his name. It's a bit more difficult. Patiri Narayanan. I hope I did it well. So, sampling taken from a lubricating oil tank, and the main issue, they have DCV failure trips. I think taking an oil sample from a tank is not really recommended because it's very difficult to have homogeneous. It's very, I mean, it's a challenge to take a sample from the oil tank. But the question is, how can MPC data help them to correlate because of location of varnish and environment?
In this case, Joe, maybe we can say that, of course, the environmental condition is not supporting us, yes, especially with the high temperature and humidity, where the activity to cooling down the system, the compressor and the turbines itself, yes, it's more difficult. Yes, to control the temperature of the oil is more difficult in the countries where the environmental has these challenges. Correct, Joe?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think in this
and it's
case,
not
if you
only
have,
in Qatar, yes, not only in Qatar.
no,
We
it's
can see in
not,
Kuwait, Oman.
yeah,
So in this area, specifically GCC countries, yes, Middle East is normal, unfortunately.
Absolutely. But be aware also that the varnish which can be formed on valves will have another driver which is temperature driven, where you may have issues on your bearings, more pressure driven. So be careful. These are different mechanisms, different drivers, but we don't have much time to extend on that. So,
to explain everything, yes, needs to be a full day session for this, at least.
And also be careful. It's recommended to take a sample better before the main lube oil filter, rather than from the tank, or better on the return oil line, but that's not always feasible. I have one more
Exactly.
question. I have one more question to go. I think, like you responded that already. It's depending on the contamination level, application, absolutely,
Yes.
severity. Um, I think in most cases it has both advantages. I leave it to you. What would you say, Vanda, on that?
Yes, depends all the time in the situation, depends on the oil level contamination, depends on the machine symptoms as well,
Uh,
because we are outside the machine, correct? And what we want is to avoid a shutdown and to do the oil change, to extend the life of the oil, to reduce the costs to the customer, to reduce the shutdown times, which is the costs are really high when they
yeah,
need to shut down one machine. And if
absolutely,
it's possible to extend the life of the oil, better. Correct, Joe? So the best
absolutely.
thing, yes, the best thing is we are not inside the machine. We know, as per the oil analysis, what is happening with the oil. Yes, we
Uh,
cannot go inside the machine. So the first action, yes, as per recommendation, is to use both together. Yes, we can start, of course, only with the ESP filtration, with the electrophysical separation process, with the resins, and we can control during a period and to follow the trend of MPC and all the other parameters. If we see that this MPC is not decreasing, yes, we shall add a decon, and the con will support to solubilize and to increase the solubility of the oil, as I was mentioning. Best thing to do
absolutely.
is both at the same time, because we are not inside the equipment, yes, the system. We don't know what is the contamination in the system itself. Even from the MPC, we cannot have we don't know the quantity of varnish that is in suspension and that
Correct.
is soluble. This is only a relative number, it's not a quantity. It's not a concentration of varnish. It's not possible to know. It's a tricky parameter.
Correct. Good, 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 Vanda. We're gonna close this. If people want
Okay.
still to have special questions or additional questions, they can chat with Vanda afterwards, even via the LRVS platform. Again, a big thank you to you, Vanda. It was from the comments, you made a really, really an excellent presentation. Thank you
I
for
will
putting
read
your
now.
time.
Now I can read.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for putting your time into this, and I wish all attendees another good continuation of our LRVS with other presentations. And Vanda, speak to you very soon
See you,
or
Joe. I
email.
will
Yeah,
have the
bye bye.
panel in few hours. Thank you to the
Yeah,
audience. Thank you.
yeah. Success with your panel. I'll look forward to that. Bye bye.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Bye, bye,
See you. Thank
bye.
you.